Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's your dragon, Oscar. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been quite a minute, and yeah, we thought let's have this end of year review where we basically come talk to you all about the games industry, like catch up with you before the year runs out. It's been an amazing year. It's also been quite a trying one. Um, a lot of the creators, regardless of what might have happened this year, have had quite an amazing one. We've seen lots of growth, lots of activity, lot of excitement in the sector and innovations, initiatives come up to grow the industry this 2025. And that is something that is really super. And we said, let's catch up with you. This is something I guess we'll be doing continuously now. Every end of year, we kick off to interact with everyone, show you what has happened this year in the video games, immersive and interactive media sector. And for this edition, we're going to be usually focusing on some key things in the video games and esports sector. I'll be doing it alone. Yeah. I do have some amazing guests in the building, and I'll be calling them to, join us. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about what's happening in the sector. And we have Brian the Beast. Hello, Brian. Hello.
But check. You guys can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Ah, thank you,
the,
Oscar, for having me.
the
Yeah,
African gaming ambassador himself. Well, it's a
yeah.
pleasure to have you here.
No,
What's good in Kenya?
I would say it's. Thank you for having me first of all and giving me this opportunity. As always, you're the best. You're the best. Happening in Kenya right now, there's a lot of rains. Weird that the whole of December it didn't rain, and then all of a sudden now it's raining everywhere.
Really?
Good vibes. Good vibes. People are chilling, saying they don't feel like it's December, but you know, we are healthy, we are alive, we're good, and that's what matters. Yeah, yeah,
Super. Does it
yeah.
normally rain in December? Because for us in Lagos, Nigeria, we used to have what we call Amatan dry season. But I
Mhm.
think climate change has really caught up with us. Like, it's not dry. It's not the way it is. We're having rain in December, guys. Like, this is so confusing.
No, it's the same for us. We used to have rain in the beginning of December until it ends, and then January is dry. Bro, the whole of December
Yeah.
has been dry, and then all of a sudden, after 25th, it started raining, and it's raining every other moment now. So, yeah, we had to shelf
Wow.
all
Wow.
outdoor activities. We had to, yeah, we are staying inside now and playing video games. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Super.
yeah,
Playing video
yeah.
games. I like that. That's a good way to go. Yeah.
Safe and
Cool. Well,
it's safe and cheap. Safe and cheap.
yeah. And
Yeah,
you just stay at home, do it, connect with people globally. You don't need to stress. Super.
exactly.
We'll also
Yeah.
be joined by Achu much later. But now we'll just start off the conversation. If you're watching online, feel free to all at us, drop your comments. You can tell us what is the most exciting thing that happens in the games industry that you are aware of. What's your most exciting game for the year? The game that was announced or published this year. For us at Africa Communicate, we've had quite an amazing year. We got to collaborate with a lot of stakeholders. Um, we went to Gamers Assembly this year, where we got to see what the games industry there in terms of esports and even indie games looks like. That was really amazing for us. I think that happened around April. We got to work with the Games Connect, which is an initiative by the Goethe Institute on the Echoes Game Jam, which brought people from across the continent to work together to build games for a museum in Nigeria. That was also very exciting. We had the three games from the Android Port Challenge launched. So we're looking at we work with Jibro South, we work with Raven Illusions as well as Fair Factor in organizing that program. Then the game that happened in four countries this year. Guys, we said it, we did it. That was really, really super. We said it, we did it, we made it happen, and that was mind blowing. But I think it's also one of the best and most exciting thing I've done all my life because, as you can see, after that event, we just kind of went low, quiet. Man, we were tired. It was really exciting, especially with the fact that whilst we were playing the game out in these four countries, we were also creating an industry documentary that is going to come out the first quarter of next year. That is something we're very excited of, and that's what we've been mainly been working backstage on to see how to put these pieces together, connecting with the stakeholders in Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, as well as Nigeria, hearing their stories, bringing all of that together to create a piece that people can then, consume. When people watch, they get to learn what is happening in the games industry. What really does the video games industry look like? And so there's going to be a documentary next year, as well as an industry report that highlights all of this. That is really, really super amazing. And we've done a couple of things as well. There are lots of events, lots of collaborations here and there. Game Marathon in Nigeria was super amazing than all other years. We also had Snapchat coming. We worked with new institutional partners, the federal government of Nigeria. We worked with banks. We worked with the insurance sector. This is really, really cool. And yeah, all I can say is it's been an amazing year. But let's now look at the industry. When you look at industry generally, I see Brian is here. It has been a super one. Raz, what has the industry, in one word, how would you describe the video games industry for 2025? Yeah.
I would say challenging. And why would I say challenging? If you allow me to explain it, initially as an esports athlete, my only focus was competing. And
Yeah.
then I came into game testing, game development, organizing gaming events, and all of that. And I attended Evo this year. Guys, that's where the challenging became a big thing because I saw what was happening out there in the world. And yeah,
Mhm.
I just can't wait to share with you guys over here. I can just say challenging. Like for me, I feel like we have to push ourselves to get to the level where we want gaming in Africa to get. So yeah, it was beautiful though. Beautiful challenge that encourages you to grow. If I would say it like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm. Yeah.
I think I would go with the same word, challenging. Especially for me, I've stretched myself all through my career to say do more, do better.
Yeah.
But this year I faced my own limitations. uh,
Hmm.
Building what we do from the
Yeah.
continent with the amount of resources we have can be
Yeah.
very, very challenging and
Mm.
limiting as well. And
Yeah.
that can in many ways affect how much you're allowed to dream or
Mm.
go, especially when you're on the continent. But
Wait,
this
wait.
year we faced that limitation, and across board, across the
Mm.
entire sector, several stakeholders, I saw them go on to do more than
Yeah.
to go beyond, their comfort zone, and that was really cool. And we did that as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
equally challenging. That's what I'll say. Challenging, but
Yeah.
also
Mm.
very exciting.
Very, very. I mean, every day you discover something small, but it's a total game changer, something that you overlooked before. So every
Mhm.
time you find this, they like motivate you to push yourself harder to do more in the space. Like I remember before I met you, or where that time where we met, I told you, bro, I'm quitting gaming. But every time you're almost quitting, you find something that encourages you to keep pushing forward. Every time you get to that point where, okay, I'm quitting today, a new
Yeah,
reason for you not to quit shows up. So, you know what I said? Okay, if that's how this is going to be, then we're just going to push until you look for that something small that encourages you to keep pushing, and you go with it. Yeah, yeah. Mm,
yeah.
mm,
That's it, really. It's a very sexy industry. That's what the games industry looks like. And if you're not careful, you might lose your way in it. But one thing that is also cool is seeing that more and more stakeholders are beginning to create structures around what they do so
mm.
that whatever they are doing can become sustainable. And I think
Yeah.
I saw that with you as well. Man, you did not just go to Evo France, you shook Macron.
Bro, that was
Yeah,
wild. That was wild. I mean, if you want me to explain how it happened, it's crazy. So, it actually started with me going to Evo France. So in Evo France, I met with the French sports president, Desiree, the outgoing French sports president, and he's
yeah,
like, "Beast, I like the stuff you do because I was doing content in Evo." The purpose
Yeah.
for me to go to Evo was not even to uh, compete
Play,
as I had
compete.
intended. No, it was to create content. So when I got there, he was amazed that I was mingling with the African guys, the players from all over the world, and he was like, "There's a summit coming up in Mauritius, and we want you to come as a speaker." Like, really? I'm like, yeah, don't even ask. I'll be there, but I don't have fare, so do the thing. And he was like, yeah, you don't worry about that. We'll sort it. So, long story, we go to Mauritius, and where we were having the speaking and the gaming event happening was actually where Macron was coming to visit. So he came to visit the gaming space, and
In more.
and when he saw me and the security, like, look at that guy. That he's too big to be playing video games. So he came over. They were passing by and he came to me and he was like, "Hey, what do you do here?" And I was like, "Mr. President, sir, I play video games for a living, but we have one problem in Africa. Can you talk to our leaders?" Actually, that's what I told him. Can you talk to
Mm,
our leaders and tell them to make gaming a thing on its own and separate it from, gambling? And then,
yeah.
even more stakeholders will want to come into it. I thought he was going to leave. My man went, removed his coat, and came back, and we had a 10 to 15 minutes conversation talking just how to do the thing. So for the upcoming Africa Summit, we're going to do something in gaming, and I would say
No.
that is just it's one of the beautiful moments for me in gaming. I mean, looking at my background and where I come from, leave alone even just gaming, my background itself, I never thought that I'd be talking to the president of a European country, just one on
Mm-hmm.
one with nobody in between us. There was nobody in
Yeah.
between. It was me and him. Like, I should start wearing suits, but I'm a gamer. So that was that. It was amazing. It was crazy. So I hope, I don't hope, I did my part as an African, whatever, as an African gamer. I did my part to try
Mm-hmm.
and get us to the next level, which I believe is our heads of state, our leaders acknowledging video games and gaming as its own and not gambling. And then we will start growing going forward from there. Not that we're not growing, we are.
Yeah.
But with that said from the top level, it changes the game for all of us. So I'd say that that was one of the most amazing things that happened to me in the space this year. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been on that. If we're being factual, I mean, you've been on that part of really. Was it not last year or so? You spoke with the guys from Saudi Arabia, and you also had this kind of engagement where we're looking at, connecting with the African games industry with the Saudi
Saudi. Yeah, yeah.
games industry.
That's
Yeah,
basically that's what I've been doing. I think everywhere I travel, I just try to make sure I build bridges for gamers from Africa, and not just gamers, game developers, anybody who's in the gaming space, cosplay. I just try to build that bridge with those guys who are, a bit established, and we can piggyback on. I mean, yes, we have a long way to go, but you don't have to go the whole way alone. So I think I just took evangelism for gaming to a different level, just to make sure we as Africa are seen for the little or for the big we're doing. Yeah, I
yeah.
took that job like mine.
And
Yeah.
that's why you are the African gaming ambassador. I think I pulled up your Instagram. Yeah, this is yeah. So for those who don't know, yeah, this is him speaking with the president. That's really
The big boys. But I was sweating, man. I've,
that's super.
I've never been that sweaty, bro. My palms were shaking, but I don't fear anyone. But man,
I can imagine. I can.
yeah. But
That's
at
really.
least our message got home. So let's see what 2026 will look like. But again,
Mhm.
like I said, the small things, to somebody else will see that as something big. But for me, I say those are the small things that give you a reason to keep pushing. Every time you want
Yeah,
to quit, there's a small reason that will keep you. So again, just playing my
you're
part. Yeah. Mm. And
super.
making sure we grow the space.
Yes. I don't know if Archie is here with us. Archie, are you here? Can you notify us so that we add you in? I don't know if you're here, but if you're here, please do let us know.
Mhm.
Yes. So let's talk about esports on your end. Let's look at what has happened this year. Before we even go into the continent, I'd
Mhm.
love to. I mean, when we went to Gamers Assembly this year, I did something similar where
Yeah.
I got like industry leaders in Nigeria, like Kumi, who is
Mhm.
doing really amazing stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I can say he's at the forefront of driving esports in Nigeria,
Mhm.
There's barely any events that Kumi Spectacular is not a part of. Any esport event.
Is in it.
And
Mm.
yeah, it's there and it's making a lot of waves, ensuring that there's structure and all. So we had that conversation looking at, the market dynamics. I'd love to hear your perspective on that as well. You went to Evo France.
Yeah.
Comparing that with tournaments on the continent, what are the dynamics that you've realized?
Brutal facts, or I sugarcoat it.
Brutal, brutal. Wow, we don't sugar.
Woo, bro.
That
So,
is why
so
people like us.
yeah, we say it as it is. So I would put it like this. When I went to Evo, first of all, I think I was confused for the whole 3 days because our understanding of what a gaming tournament is and how we do it, from organization, entry, the way the whole event looked like, man, I felt like I was in heaven. I was ready to start living there. I almost threw my passport away. So let's start. The entry fee you're supposed to pay like a few months before the event starts. The
Mhm.
gate fee is like 2 times more when you go to pay at the gate, so it encourages for people to actually pay earlier, which helps in
Mhm.
planning. This
Yeah.
is the first time I also saw more than 300 consoles on tables without anybody guarding them. There were
What are
bro,
you trying to say it with your full chest?
bro,
No, I
try
will
here.
not have African standard.
Bro, this is the first time I ever saw more than 300 consoles arranged on tables, nobody watching them. But what you just do is you come with your controller, you come connect it to the console you want to play and do the tournament. This is also the first time I saw an event where majority of the people who attended were actual competitors. Like, everybody in that building could play fighting games. I played with people, man, people as old as 55, 60s. They were there in the building and they understand video games. They were not just button mashing. I
Mm,
saw there's a dude with white hair who beat me, and I was like, okay, let's go physical now. I have to win somewhere. So yeah, and leave that aside. The arrangement of the venue itself, it gave a chance for not just competitors. If you're new into gaming, pro
mhm.
athletes from all over the world were in the venue. Man, people like Sonic Fox. These are people I've been watching on YouTube from, I don't know, 10 years ago. I was able to meet them and talk to them directly. I'm like, bro, how are you, or
Yeah.
something like that. So stuff like that. So I would say it was just too much. I felt like I had a sensory overload. Like, I had plans, but my plans don't match what is actually happening on the ground.
Mm,
So the setup, the arrangement of the venue, uh, just the whole thing, everything ended in time. And remember, I think the game that has had the lowest entry had something like 1,200 people. Okay, one
wow.
tournament had 1,200 people, bro, and there were six different tournaments. Tekken,
Wow.
Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Z, Guilty Gear Strive, and there's even a new game that was released in the venue. Like, even DLC characters that were not released were in the venue. So if you paid to enter the venue, you get early access to play the characters before they even release for everyone else. We don't do stuff like that, man. We're just like, you come, beat each other, win. Whoever wins 1 million goes home, and that's it. We try to give an experience, because I myself am a tournament organizer. That's the same thing I've
Yeah.
been doing here. I try to do what Evo do, but again, we don't have enough resources. But it just changed my whole perspective of doing a gaming tournament. It gave
Yeah.
something to everyone. I mean, I have collectibles. I don't know if you guys can see, but
Yeah.
I walk around with it. Yeah, Evo Media. So you see stuff like this. These are
Yeah.
buttons. I don't know if they're visible. They are
Yeah. Yeah.
pins. So there's a game just released. It's called 2XKO. So every time you go to play, you don't pay for it. Every time you go to play, you get a pin. So this shows I played it 3 different times, even if the venue was full. So if I wanted to have like 20 of these, I mean, the experience itself was just out of this world. And then in the same venue, there's a Street Fighter custom motorbike. I love motorbikes, right? So Street Fighter did a custom Suzuki motorbike. It was in the venue. If you want to try it out and buy it, it was there for you to test. I was like, just like it was amazing. And the 3 days itself, I got to see competition. I got to see what also Africa got, because we had a couple of African players who went to represent. And
Yeah.
I would say we need to work on how our representation goes over there, or goes. is. Yeah,
Okay, yes. I think Ashu's join us.
Yeah, yeah. Apology, Michael. I need to apologize to you sincerely. I'll explain to you. You know how family works. Once you're
No,
ready, it's ready. The kids come up with excuses. I won't tell you where I've been. I've done a round trip. Within that minute, I went away. But hey,
no, it's not.
Happy New Year in advance. I
happy
had you.
New
Yeah,
Year. Yeah. So
yeah, yeah,
where was I? So on the African representation, a lot of our boys and girls who went to represent had a lot of potential, but again, this was the first time they were seeing or experiencing something like Evo, and you're going to meet experienced players, people who have time and resources to do this. So one way or the other, it doesn't matter how good you are. I saw how good or how far our guys could go, but because they don't have exposure to this kind of setting, it really tips them off. You find somebody loses, they see the first person, like the first person you're playing with is good enough to as the best person in your country, you know. The first person you're playing with, not the 10th, the first person you meet is a pro player out there.
Rest you. It don't take time.
So I was just like, okay, we need to come here more so that we get to the level these guys are. And how we need to do this is also have regular tournaments back home. I don't know. I even thought of I asked the pro players, the Chinese ones, Ding, Sonic Fox. I invited them to Africa and I told them, yo guys, we struggle. You know, when we want to travel, visa, and now Trump is doing everything. We can't travel, but you guys can travel. So you see like how I should speed is coming. You guys can
yeah.
come play with us, give master classes. So these are the things I went around the venue doing. But
Mm.
generally, if you do ever get the chance, if you are a fighting game enthusiast, kindly make sure you try and attend Evo as we try to make Evo come to Africa, you know. But the experience, maybe Atsu can chip in on what he saw because we were with him and the entire
Oh, it
time we
was
were
yeah.
behind cameras.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
we were there with him. Yeah.
No, it's Brian. Thank you for the opportunity, and Michael. So for this one, right? It's the story is interesting. Michael, you might not know this one as a background. Arts department, Fabio. He spoke to me, and he was like, he's gonna do this. Do you know we collaborated on this? Split the bill, and we collaborated on this for him to go there. Fortunately, he could go there 2 days before myself, so he had a chance to survey and get stuff done. And this collaboration included Esports African Youth had a list of media accreditations. Unfortunately, we
Yeah,
couldn't get visas from Nigeria and Ghana and Cameroon. So Fabio and the team and Brian took those slots. And this collaboration worked deep because we were able to go to the arena, we're all able to capture and speak to the guys. And we had a good time. You know, three boys. I think there was a picture of us sat there like that. And that picture is so good. Like I like looking at it every time. Like good collaboration. So the first thing about that particular trip was the collaboration. I agree with Brian on the African experience. The number of Africans who turned up there was great. And one other thing that we found out were there were diaspora Africans. There was a guy from Nigeria, this girl from Zimbabwe, and there were a few others who 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 were in the space. But that's diaspora African, and that was the first time they come into Evo. Talk about the African athletes at Evo. Big
mm,
experience. Nigerians had class. You could see the difference. You could experience them, and people were like, "Wow, these guys are different."
yeah,
Unfortunately, we couldn't go as far as we wanted to go. The other kind of African saw were the Africans who have made it big. Like Vetrix, who are now playing for different teams. Hurricane and Vetrix. What do you call it? I think Hurricane was playing for is it Watford? Is it
Watford. Yeah.
yeah, Watford.
Mm.
So the experience was great, a wide experience. Now let's bring it in. I think, and it's not because Beast is here. I think we do not celebrate people like Beast as much as we need to, or as much as we can do. I know that people like Beast, Brian, who sat there, right? One, they're good at the game. Two, they've been in the industry for a long time, and they do a lot for the industry. I know, Brian, you were saying that these guys should come to Africa to play. I think we, the African esports organizers, we, the African esports media, we, the African esports whatever, should be spotlighting people like you, who are doing this uh, I've seen you do the Kenyan esports work. I've seen you do a lot of traveling about. I know Ronnie from Kenya as well. You know, he's now on the board of GF. You know, the people. Let's come back to Nigeria. We've got spectacular Mr. Kumi. You know, we've got people like that. You've got now that I'm on stage, the names are what I'm trying to say is that we've got capacity to grow our own thing. And we need to focus on trying to grow our own thing alongside going for this international tournament. Because there is a generation we're gonna lose, but also there's a generation we need to discover. And that gives
That's
us
mm,
Wow, that's really exciting. That's really exciting to see, I must say. And you all have brought very important points. Definitely, the future we want. Sorry, I'm licking a sweet. The future we want is going to be developed by us. And yes, we have stakeholders. We have heroes right now that we should be celebrating, spotlighting for the work they do, because it's like a thankless job in a large way. I'm pulling up a picture of you guys enjoying your life at Evo. I don't know if you have that. Like, look at that.
that image is class.
mm,
Cause it is great.
Yeah.
Collaboration is great.
I think
And
you know.
Fabian,
Mm.
Fabian, that's his name, right?
Yes, Fabian. Yeah.
Fabian, he did a video about it. So if you're watching this and you feel like you missed out, I've dropped the link to the video. Go watch it there. There's a full video on YouTube. I've shared it in the comments that basically shows everything that happened at Evo France in case you missed that.
Mm.
Yeah, and there are people doing the work right now, and for me, for example, I love saying I don't think we should always wait till when someone has retired before they start sharing the experiences or so. There's so much we can learn from each other right now as we are living the life, as we are problem solving. And as you can see, Ryan has mentioned some very key things. And I think one of the biggest thing is there's that exposure aspect to seeing how things are really done out there.
Mm.
Then there's that time and resources to even say, okay, can we now learn to do things the right way? Because
Yeah.
this is something that is very important. Say, for example, something like venue setup. I think this is a general issue across the entire of Africa. Even the events I do, sometimes I struggle with venue setup because the reality is, as much as everybody wants us to start on time, of course, there's the African time factor, where even if you set up on time, people will still come late. But it's really cool to come to an event and everything is set up. But the reality is, resources. There are always resource constraints. When France did Creation Africa in Nigeria, everything was set up on time. Why? The resources there, the modalities of doing things, the structure, but the people who got contracted to do this was also there and it's easier. With a lot of the stakeholders on the continent that are active in this space, we're having to push limits to meet up standards where we don't have the resources to meet up. And it's not like I'm giving excuses, by the way, but this is the reality. This is the huge reality.
Matthew, let's turn it around. Let's turn it around, right? I
Hmm.
know time is a factor. It's a good factor for us to maintain, which is great. But we do know that okay, what is a tournament going to be like, or what is a summit going to be like? We might need to do the interesting, engaging, what do you call it, activities ahead of time. You know, then mid we have everyone sat down now. Oh, everyone is engaged. Now let's have the tournament, and then at the end, let's do the meet and greet and say hello. Because after people have won, after people have seen their losses and stuff, either they're going away or they're going to just try and do something to take their minds off. So maybe we should look at the structure again and say, maybe in the beginning, let's go for the free flow, just dance, or try new games. Kazals, Throne of Gods. Or let's do an African themed free for all competition where just win a badge, win a cup, win something. So whilst everyone is engaged that way and we're done, now let's do the real competition. Let's see where we have things. Maybe that will get us engaged. I'll send you a video about African timing. It's really good. We are never late. The right time we are all together, so we are never late.
Ah, nice. I just thought it. So you guys have used science to explain it now. Thumbs up.
I think I would also like to add on that. Like one of the things I noticed in Evo was when the competitors were removed, like when they lost from the tournament, they didn't leave. They actually stayed around for the whole 3 days to watch the whole thing. And like here in Africa, where I've run tournaments, the first day you'll have 3,000 people turn up. The next day you'll have 500. So when these other guys lost, they don't have any other reason to be within the vicinity. And these are the guys you want to sell
They were
to.
there for the money.
You are there for exactly. So we haven't properly built that culture of
Gaming
supporting
culture.
gaming. The game, where you just want to watch gameplay and see. I mean, this is the first time, and I'm going to say this. I've seen football matches. You see those guys who go with drums and they sing and dance and chant.
Yeah. Nobody
They
pays
were at
them.
Bro, they were at Evo. They were at Evo. I've never seen them here in the gaming events, and it's understandable. Yes, we are growing. So I've said I want to introduce something like that. I'll pay guys even I don't have money, but I'll pay guys, just create the hype and bring life to that. To the audience who are watching the game.
I'll let
Yeah,
you do something, right? And
yeah,
might be letting a cat out of the bag quicker than I should. But it's
yeah.
gonna definitely come out. It's coming. It's an event in Ghana
Mm,
organized by Gigs Game City. And Mike, you
okay.
might know them, GGC,
Yeah.
Yuba Solo, and myself. I'm putting my hands up. I'm part of GGC, but it's
Okay.
it's a the Hall of Fame, right? And that
Mm,
involves the fan engagement. So I'll let you into it. If you go
mm,
to ggcgh.com, it's there. And if Michael, you can get it, put it on there. It's a Ghana event though, but the theme of what Brian is saying is happening. Where it's not just about the athlete playing; it's about the whole entourage he brings in. His fan base. So ggcgh.com, it should be there. Hall of Fame.
see.
Okay. I'm looking for that. It's not popping up. GGCGH. Can you just confirm the link and share with me?
Yeah, I'll share with you on WhatsApp quickly, and then
Yeah.
you can look at it. Yeah.
No. Sure. And
Mm,
yeah,
I
like
thought I found it. I found it.
super. So yeah, and yeah, the gaming culture is something we've definitely grown in big way, right? Okay.
Geeks Game City.
Yeah. Once I get it, I'll pull it up. I know when I was at Gamers Assembly as well, I saw 60. Okay. I saw 60-year-olds carrying
Yeah,
their, you know,
I've
carrying
sent,
their PC.
I've sent that to you.
Okay.
Geeks Game City.
Yeah. Let me see if I can open that quickly.
But Brian, what you're saying is great because if athletes have got a fan base,
Yeah,
when they go to the stadium, it's because of their team, and they do that because of the team supporting. So if the fan base is going to come, the fan base is going to come the guy. So if I'm coming to see Brian play, Call of Duty Mobile, I'm going to be with Brian throughout the period. That
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. And that supports the scene generally. So at least somebody has something to do within the space. So it's not like when you kicked off, there's nothing else you can do within the space.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's really good.
I heard Oscar talking about Gamers Assembly. Gamers Assembly, I also went the previous year before you guys. That was the
Hmm.
first time I saw a grandfather, a father, a grandson, and the in-laws sitting in a straight line playing a game online. I was confused. The grandfather had his own PC, built everything. The son his own, the grandson his own, and the mother like you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's that gaming culture, and we are growing. Definitely, we are growing. We're not yet there because if you're organizing a tournament now and you ask people to bring their pieces, where will you see that? Just as you said, the supporters, the true fans, and that's
Mm,
something we are yet to unlock. But like with the work you all are doing, I know we'll get there because the business side of the esports really relies on the fans, right? Right
yeah.
now, the esports industry in Africa, if we can call it that way, mainly relies on sponsorship for support. And this sponsorship only comes in when you're able to prove numbers.
Mm-hmm.
right? To tell the businesses that, oh, we're going to have 3,000 people, 10,000 people, so you sell to them. And
Yeah.
unlike out there, where the bulk of that 3,000, 10,000 are real gamers, on the continent, yeah, we've not fully unlocked full true fans
Mm.
that we can even then monetize beyond events, to say merchandise, to say support, to say you get to do many things like that. Yeah, there's still a lot of majority of the crowd is, they are not really there for the game. They're
Yeah.
there for the things surrounding the game, like, it's a mixer. Oh, you meet people, you fall in love or hatred. There's free.
It's a day out.
Telling me, you telling
Yeah,
me.
yeah. So we've
Hey,
not unlocked. We have true fans now, but the number is not huge. But with the activities, like I said, like Spectacular, there seems to be an esports event every month right now in Nigeria,
yeah,
and
Mm.
that would help us build that loyal audience that can become true fans. And really, any team, any esports team that can, or organization that can have, let's say, 20,000 true fans
Mm.
on the continent in sub-Saharan Africa is really going to break it, because once you have those true fans, you don't need external support. If you have 10,000 people that are willing to pay, like, let's say, $10 or $20 for your event, you start unlocking some good numbers of revenue. But we can see how shifting, there's a lot of pushbacks, but people are doing it. I know in Ghana now, even in Nigeria, they're now asking people to pay to attend this event, because we've passed that stage. In the early days, it was, we're doing it for you for free. We'll come to your house, we'll provide transport. These are the things
Still.
people have done to grow this
Mm.
industry. But
Mm.
now we're entering a new phase where, even in Nigeria, I'm seeing you pay to attend events, you pay to play. We're becoming professionals, we are restructuring, and that is cool, because once we have that standard, we can then build our true funds. You notice something, actually?
yeah. So I was looking at your statement about the monetization of esports, right? And the structures. I think we need to focus on commercialness in the coming year, which maybe is the arrow just points back to us to say make it visible. And I should try and get more context on the monetization thing, right? So in Nigeria, the thing is, I am coming to Nigeria. I am more Nigerian this year than any other, because more I am I am there. And I've set the base and I know I'm going to be there. So the thing is that Nigeria has got the numbers. I'm talking about just Lagos. In the last few months, I've spoken to more people outside Lagos than in Lagos about esports. Do you know what's telling that I'm only scratching the surface of a big, big thing, right? Lagos, yes, but when you go Oyo, you go Port Harcourt, you go who did I speak to today? They've got all these opportunities. And what's the business in the numbers? We've got events happening. Yes, we've got one event, but can we have a conglomerate of communities having one big event? One thing that we're not leveraging on is the communities that we have. The number of communities I have joined recently, like Call of Duty community in Nigeria, e-football community in Nigeria, mobile number community in Nigeria. The number of people in these communities on WhatsApp is crazy. How then do we leverage this to get them to come out of the communities and engage? It's that's ability to tell their story, ability to show them on screen. We need to come up with some voices to give, like what you're doing, to give visibility to people. It tells the story. I'm able to engage with face, with the emotions, with whatever is happening. When we're doing tournaments, we need to stream. The streaming captures the South African news are supposed to fun, the emotional fun, the she almost lost the fun. All those things tell a story. It brings the vibe. The next tournament, everybody wants to be there. If it's not streamed, so if you start streaming your tournament like spectacular people streaming regularly, the next time there'll be limited seats only, 10, 15, 20 seats. Those become prime seats for you to have a live audience. And then we start going from there. You know, I think we need to be intentional about it. And maybe this is where, with our podcast, so just another thing I've let out here, Esports Africa News has got weekly podcasts coming out. In the podcast, the first post is on the 7th of January and every other Wednesday thereafter. So look out for it. We should focus on bringing in more business minded people who will be able to help educate, inspire us to monetize our content, bring in some funding. And I'll try and do that a bit more.
Yeah, that's super. That's really really amazing. Yeah, and the collaboration, we hope to see more of that. So for everyone watching, this is the GGC channel. You can basically yeah, this is the event coming up. I know there are many more events coming up in 2026, but this is the one you mentioned. I've dropped the link in the comments. You can check it out if you're in Ghana. This is something you might want to be a part of. And when is this event happening again?
It's this January. It's this January. So I think if you go to the other tabs there, it tells you the timetable or the information there. So everyone, all the information is on the website, so people can join. But it's a Ghana event at the moment, and
Yeah.
we're looking to expand it to other parts of their continent.
Okay. Super. Super. Okay, so let's now bring it back. I've dropped the link so you can check that up and see if you're in Ghana, you can be a part of that event. But still talking esports. Hey, there's games. Me, I'm a games guy. I'm not an esports guy. So let's bring it
For the
back.
game was
Attacking
my
while defending, eh?
with the contact you gave me, and
Yeah.
I've been watching their videos all week.
Nice, nice. Yeah, we do have amazing talent on the continent, and I'm excited about what everyone is building. But let's wrap it up with esports right now. What are the key things that happen in the African esport ecosystem you'd love to share? Beast, do you want to go first?
Yeah, yes, I will go first. So for me, the ones that I was personally able to be around were the events that I was doing locally. So one, without forgetting to mention, I started doing a show called Gaming in the Streets, which was about video games, uh, the culture, the whole thing, esports, all of it. Where do you fall? Whatnot. Uh, they were one episode each, but you can check out my YouTube and just share. Guys can see what they want. There was a topic about streaming, content creation. We even did stuff on the player that went to Evo from here in Kenya. But aside from that, I think this year was the less the less busiest for me in terms of running gaming tournaments. I did two, and the major ones I did, they were sponsored by a betting company called Betika. So one was in mid June, July there, and the last one was here in August. And I think the one in August was the one I loved the most because I tried to go and do it differently. It was before I went to Evo, but most of what I had envisioned to do at the tournament was what was actually going on at Evo. So I had a fun
Mm,
section. We had three tournaments: FC 25, Mortal Kombat 11, and Call of Duty Mobile. So one thing I realized was we always do tournaments, but we focus on one title. So most of the time, these communities never meet. And I realized this is a stumbling block because we want these people to grow, yet we always have FIFA people just having their own tournament. Like they never get to meet, so they never get that sense of community. And it's the same thing we were talking about with you some time back, that we need to find a way to get the game developer and the gamers in one room so that
yeah,
we can exchange notes and say we like this about the game, we don't like that. So I experimented with that and it went so well. I mean, for the first time I can say I didn't have 500, but I had more like 1500. I was able to retain more of like 1500 players within the venue for the 3 days the event was happening. And even for the streaming, I made sure that at no given point did we fully just stream FIFA. No, we did FIFA, we went to Mortal Kombat, we went to Call of Duty. So we were streaming them in between. So people didn't have a reason to leave. If you want to leave, your game is on the screen. If you want to leave, your friend's game is on the stream. So I think it was one of the beautifulest experiences for me. And I think this year for me was just basically to just learn and see how can we do it Africanly, if that's a word. How can
very
we do it Africanly? Because if you look at how esports and everything happens out there, we will have to come up with our own way regardless. Yes,
Yeah.
there's a way esports works in the world, but how we do it here, we will have to, like, from the ground up. We are building it. We just borrow from here, there, and I thank God I've been able to travel and see what these guys are doing. So it's easy for me to, incorporate. So it's up to us within our regions like West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, where our strong points and whatnot. For me, I think 2026 going forward is now going to be technical and execution on how can we better do this according to our regions. Because what is failing us is we're just doing stuff. We are like, yeah, esports, and we're doing tournaments, but those tournaments don't work for us. For example, sorry for taking a lot of time. The games we choose to play, yeah, in the world, a lot of people have PS5s and whatnot, right? People have PS5s. When you come to Africa, which is the which console does everybody have? Most people have PS4s, right? Most of the people who have access to gaming then, so where we access our gaming is not at home. We go to this place where we pay. What do they
Yeah.
have? They have PS4s. So which
Yeah.
means they're still using the PlayStation 4 titles. So
Yeah.
how do we catch up with the world when, this is where we are. This is what people know. And that example worked very well for my last tournament because I said people wanted a Mortal Kombat 1 tournament. Mortal Kombat 1 is on PS5. And I told the guys, if you let me run this, I am going to do it with Mortal Kombat 11. So initially, we had 20 people signed up for Mortal Kombat 1. When I made the tournament a Mortal Kombat 11 tournament, we had almost 150 people sign up. We
Wow.
had new players. We had players from Uganda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, all wanting to come to the event because of Mortal Kombat 11. That goes to show you something. People play Mortal Kombat 1, yes, it's the thing that is being played all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
but people have access to Mortal Kombat 11 and the numbers spoke for themselves. So I've been telling myself, yes, we want to do tournaments, but why don't we use the titles that are also available on ground, games that people are familiar with? And within these events is where we introduce the new games and get people to, be part of them. This is a way to look at it because I figured out you want to do a FIFA 26 tournament. Down there in the hood, people play to 2019 and it's the best game they've ever seen.
Yeah.
Even when people say that
Celebrate,
Africa.
right? Celebrate them. It's got it all. Celebrate it.
Exactly. Yeah. So even in the mobile tournaments, you find when I'm streaming Call of Duty on console, somebody says it's a shitty game. They say Call of Duty mobile is the best game. And you sit there, you're like, what are you saying? But you get yourself to understand that the first game they ever saw of that kind was the Call of Duty mobile. So it's
But
going to be
yeah.
that for them. So once we understand that as Africa, man, we will solve so many problems in one night. How do we do the tournaments? How do we get more people to be part of this tournament? We focus on the new title, but to be honest, most of people cannot still afford PS5s. I think when PlayStation 6 will come out is when people will be able to afford PlayStation 4.
That's it.
and, and it's okay. But we need to find
Yeah,
what
it's okay.
and it's okay. We need to find what works for people on the ground. We can be chasing tech, but man, that tech is not waiting for us.
Yeah,
And we
Yeah.
need to grow. So we need to use what we have on ground to grow. And
yeah,
then when we get to where people understand how to consume gaming, then you can even tell them, we are doing a PS5 tournament. This is what we need. This is what we need. But
yeah.
at the moment, I'm just like, bro, if I want to do a Candy Crush tournament, I recently, just 2 days ago, I did a Just Dance tournament with the kids and it worked. So I believe any tournament you want to do, regardless if
Mm-hmm.
you know the rules and how to organize a tournament, you can do it. So I would say for me this year, it was just collecting experiences on different events, different places in the world, and seeing how we can come up with something that is us, Ubuntu, I don't know, Africa, we might copy, but at the end of the day, we are here. And all of us cannot travel to Europe. So we need to
Yeah.
find a way to make this work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. We have a comment. We have a comment, Mr. Akebol, and he says we have to start talking about hardware and software, which is what you were speaking of.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
says how to weaponize the African Caribbean. I don't know why I use the word weaponize, dude. That's a strong word. But yeah, how to weaponize the African Caribbean and Pacific Island development banks and create our own. What do you guys think Dangote does to grow his companies? And he wraps it up with look at the initiative. Let me see. It says, look up the initiatives for devs in both spaces, look up the initiatives for creatives. The ex-president Akinwumi additional champion is in the creative industry. We need to learn. And one final comment from him. Thanks for dropping this, by the way. If you're watching, feel free to drop your comments. We'll read it out. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, this is an end of year conversation because a lot is planned for 2026, but a bulk of it we need to engage the people we're doing this for as well. Should have had someone from the Black Industrialist Conference. That's usually in South Africa, I believe. Well, that's interesting. What's your take in all of this, actually?
So I was going to. I mean, I agree with almost most of the things that Brian is saying. So I put it down. You know, when you said you start a tournament and then we are late and that kind of thing, we're not really late. So what Brian was saying was that let's start with uh, the old tournament, 2017, 2018, 2019 tournament before the main tournament. You will get you get your people to stay in. And he also talked about having game developers and the gamers in the same space. Brian, I think when we went to Evo, Axe Systems, to 20K, all those guys were in the same space as the gamers. So we could talk about it. You and Fabio even had a session at the Axe Systems. So
Yeah.
that was the other experience I took from Brian. Then talk about my take on esports in Africa, PUBG Mobile. Championship, African Championship, Carry First, Call of Duty Mobile Championship, the Bekitsta, the one you did for us, Brian did for us in Kenya. There was another event in Uganda and in Nigeria. We had loads of sessions with Game Evo, Tenant 80, Gamer. I am excited about the number of tournaments in Africa, but we need to stream a bit more. We need to have more content, more content. And it's always one way with this tournament. You know, people come set up, oh, call people to the stage and play, but nothing exciting. What will make someone come and stay? What will make someone come and engage? We need to bring in a bit more entertaining mix into it. You know, Brian was saying the dance. I've just introduced GGC's fan engagement system. We need to have something more than just setting up play game. That's why people leave after playing their game. But if we've got the game developers there with tryouts, we've got the fan system there with more engagement, signing of t-shirts, just having a meet and greet, that kind of thing would be great. And then let's have an older version or box games or different games, African games. Let's introduce them so there's something more for everybody to engage with. Even the kiddie side, the kiddie corner. So when parents who want to bring their kids, the kiddie corners,
Mhm.
or play Just Dance or some of these softer games. Let's make avenues for them. So with the African scene, I definitely am looking forward to more international tournaments with Konami buying the franchise for eFootball in Africa. I'm looking forward to more
Yeah.
than FC 26. You know, I am aware of a large eFootball community, which I'm also excited about. And the world is our oyster. For me, Nigeria is my home, and I'm looking forward to having a major, major event in Nigeria in 2026.
Nice, nice. That's exciting. Okay, but I don't know. So we've said a lot of this just as we've spoken on policies before, no, but how do stakeholders, and I put this to you because we've said a lot of amazing stuff. Me, I organize events. And if you know one thing we said at Africa Communicate is after organizing events for like 6 years, we said we are putting a stop to major events. This does not mean we're not going to have mixers, meetups, and the likes. The Gamerton for the next 5 years will now be a biennial event. So that means there's going to be events this year, 1 day, 2 day events, but the Gamerton itself, which is like the 1 week event, would happen once every 2 years. And it's not just a resource problem, it's also a strategic alignment as to what do we want to do in the next 5 years as an organization. But when you also even look at the resource part, it's really, really it's tasking. Right? Events as of today, I don't think in Africa, I don't know if there's anyone that makes profits from events, if not losses. So now
Mm,
you're saying all of this, just dance, this, that. Of course, collaboration is a way that can offset all of this because collaboration is a thing of network connection. But what
mm,
other ways do you think we can navigate this? Because, like you mentioned, Konami, I think Ronnie met with the Konami guys. They're doing
yeah.
something in Kenya.
Mm,
Many people, Tencent has come to Nigeria like almost three, four, five times, and they
mm.
are beginning to do much more. Orange in Francophone Africa is really, really doing a lot of amazing stuff. So, how do you think we can navigate this? Because it's really, me, I like once I talk, I do, right? But you see, the gap between planning and execution, it's small, but when you get it, it's very huge. How do we navigate that? Because for me, I see a huge resource challenge because things are changing with what stakeholders are doing. But what's your suggestion on that?
Um, Me personally, it's something I struggle with as well. I think, first of all, even before we go to that, I think we should have community led initiatives where gamers like me take charge.
Hmm.
Yes, we know money is needed and all that, but there are passionate gamers like me. There are people who gaming is everything to them. People like us should be doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it Africa is very tough. It's very surgical. If I've realized a lot of people we started this with are not there anymore
Yeah. There's
for
no
valid reasons.
money.
For exactly.
Some of us have
Exactly.
5 children.
Exactly. So
Cannot relate. Actually, it's not African in Africa. Yeah.
exactly. So for us being here to do this, it's you've sacrificed everything already to be here, to be this far. At this point, unless you now give out your heart, then there's nothing left for you to give. But the thing is, personally, I feel that from the community, from us, the gamers ourselves, we know what gaming is worth. We should, do something within the space, whether it's raise awareness, help with the events, do our own mini events. I remember I used to host people in my house from Uganda. That's how I learned how to play Mortal Kombat, and we had that sense of community. Now, when we go to the corporates and whatnot, bro, I go to these people, you talk to them, they want to see money immediately, and you're just like, most of your clients are college and students in school, so they don't have so much money to spend, but they don't look at it as, if you are a bank, for instance, you go to a college student, you give them, you do for them the tournament. When they leave school, the only bank they will know is you, because it's you who stood with them. So in
Yeah.
the long run, you are grooming your client without, grooming, you're grooming your client to be your client without doing that. And that's how I've seen gaming work outside there in the world. If you look at Saudi Arabia right now, it's the telco, STC, it's Saudi National Bank. Those are the guys who are footing all the bills for the gaming, whatever. In return, where do these gamers go to save?
Yeah.
Saudi National Bank. Where do which lines do they use? They use the STC lines, So trying to pick these examples to use here, it's tough. But like we said, we are the guys who said we will die on this. No, we won't die on this boat.
Amen.
We won't die on this boat, but we are going to try. So for me, those two approaches. One, the community needs to know we are not in a good place. So, what can each and every one of us do to contribute to build the space? And me, everybody that comes to me, oh, I want to invest in gaming. I had gaming as money. I'm like, what money? When people in Europe talk about money, they started planting this tree 20 years ago. They watered it, they
Exactly.
nurtured it, it's grown. Now they are reaping, like they can easily reap from it. Us, what have we planted? Not so much. And we want
Yeah.
to get to where Europe is in 2 minutes, not even 5 years. So for me, I feel like, one, the community approach. Two, we need to find a way, I don't know, to have people our ages working in these companies. So when you explain to them something to do with gaming, they understand and know how to branch into it. Thirdly, what I'd spoken to with that president, talking to our leaders to make this a whole industry on its own. When the president goes and says on the news, gaming is this and it's not gambling. Even these companies that are afraid to come into gaming will now come because
Exactly.
they don't have fear that they'll be compared with gambling companies. So that is also something. So our policy makers, maybe we make friends with them, tell them to talk to the guys, to make for us rules that apply to the video game space, not the gambling space. Because as of now, a lot of countries, I don't know in Nigeria how it looks, but here in Kenya, we are under the rules of gambling, and gaming is not that. Gaming is a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think we would like to take a closing note from Archer. I think he needs to run, but yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
No, so Brian, right? Okay, and I'll start with you, Michael, because the kind of work we've done together, and sometimes we need to speak about the behind the scenes conversations because you, Michael, we talk a lot, and
Yeah,
the kind of information you share and you get us together is massive. Right from Kenya, we missed Kenya, we managed to get to Ghana, and then we came to Nigeria. The kind of conversation we have is massive, and I understand the strategic move you're making with this biennial event, and it's the best way to go to. It's like catapult. You need to pull back, and when you release, you're going further. I
yeah,
don't know how to explain it. If you're in Africa, you understand it. Pull back and then release, you go further. So I think what you're doing is strategic and it's great, which means that now that you've spoken, it's giving me more thoughts that yeah, let's try and do this more with Michael and his team because they've got this great event that goes out every year. With Africa, my personal interest will be to see two or three tournament organizers come together to have a major event. Like the way Mr. Easy does 30 December in Ghana, the way uh, Mobile Legends Bangman have got their events. If you really look at ESL, yeah, made up of there were two or three organizations that came together to form ESL, and now they've been bought by the Saudi organization. We need to understand commercialness. We need to have more people talk about the legal aspects of collaborating, the contractual aspects of collaboration, and let's come together. And I'm sure two or three friends, two or three organizations will wipe Africa or put Africa on the spotlight if we can collaborate together. And that will be my biggest thing in Nigeria. And me, I'll be Lagos boy now. Chippy boy, they come out.
yeah. And to speak to that, I mean, you've already done that with the Evil France, the way you all aligned. I watched Fabian's video, and even when he started, it was like, oh, this was supported by, eSport Africa News. He mentioned a couple of other stakeholders, and definitely, I think that is what we are also aiming for, because as an industry, we're not going to build it alone. We don't have the resources, we don't have all the network, and so we want to see how. My biggest takeaway for the Gameathon this year was seeing for the first time ever the indie game studios coming and supporting the event. Yeah, I think that was my biggest takeaway. For the first time ever, the studios in our community came out and they were branding their booths, they were printing merch, they were saying, okay, take this for my booth space. And that shows growth. And for us, just to speak to what you are saying, why we're taking that step back is now there's a lot of events because we started this to say people don't know about the industry and we do events to connect people. Now we've connected people. Brian came last year, he met developers, he went on to playtest lots of African games, giving small spotlight to the industry. Right, and we've done all of this. We have these systems. What we need to put now is structure so that the systems are self-sustainable. They don't rely on
Yeah.
Oscar. They don't rely on Africa Comic Aid alone. We can have a system that everybody can look at and implement. Just like when we started community back then, we were like, why are you doing something community? Just build your own game. You have
Mm.
the zeal, you have the energy. But now we have communities in the South. We had the OAU community come out and look at the amazing talent that has come out of OAU. I can't go and run a community in OAU. Are you
Yeah.
getting me? In
Yeah.
Kenya, when we had the Gamerton in Kenya this year, right after that, the Goethe Institute spoke with those stakeholders, and now they have meetups run by them, not by Africa Communicate. So the idea is it starts as an idea, but if an idea is going to live long, it needs to have system and structure that can outlive the people doing it. So
Yes.
for us, events are great. We want to support more events. There's Lagos Games Week, there's MalioCon. Super. With all of these events, everybody's still talking about the video games industry, and spotlight will be given to more and more stakeholders. And what is the next stage after like 6 years? The next stage now is that, because we've been speaking about sustainability from day one. The
Mm.
Yeah.
next stage now is that sustainability. So there's events, there's more studios, which I would get to very soon. How do these people make more revenue so that they can make profit?
Yeah.
You get, because
Mm.
profit is revenue is one thing, profit is and we
Another.
need those resources. So how do they make more revenue? And that is what we are focusing on. With the industry reports we're releasing, with the documentary, people would have that source of information you can go to and say, oh, I know this, I know that, I know that. And we're also going to be releasing our playbooks actually. That's something we'll do next year. So how do we organize Game Jam? Put it out there. How do we run our community? Put it out there. Because we are all growing, and then we need to create that ecosystem that shares our love. But it's a tough work, but it's the important one. And Gematon 27, if you're out there, if you want to collaborate, 27 is not 365 days is not a lot, guys. And what we have planned for next year is much. So we're even starting the planning for Gematon in 2027 next year from January. And we're open to partners and all. Yeah.
Right. 2027, Ghana will be 70 years old. So keep
Woo!
and remember,
I'm coming for gold.
2027 there should be a special Ghana Gameathon 70 years.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
Tema will be 50 years or 55 years. I need to double check that. But basically, there's enough context to have in Ghana. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
I-
Nice. Super.
Yes.
Super. So yeah, any special organization or community or athletes you want to shout out in the esport? We're wrapping up the esport segment right now. Anyone?
um,
Which
I
team
don't-
did well this year?
there's so many media. There's so many people, right from Sophie in Morocco, who helps me with ACDC event to the Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria on the west to Kenya. Oh, Cheddar Gaming in Kenya, Pulse Gaming in Kenya. Who are my new friends down south? Chroma Pixel, uh, Zambia, South Africa. I can't remember the name of my head. Uh, I read them in Rwanda. I mean, there are loads of people because I do media. I've got names, but you all, and I'm definitely hoping for connection. You all have my numbers, so just connect.
Nice. How about you, Brian?
The true ones know themselves. You see, now for me, that's a mess because I know so many people, not even in the continent, all over. I can't
Yeah.
have a favorite. You all are my favorite. You know yourselves. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm playing safe, Michael. Michael, I'm playing safe. That's why I'm not
You
mentioning
need
names.
to, as a politician, you have to. If
I,
not, you'll be in trouble. You'll be like, so Brian, you called people and you did not mention me.
so okay, maybe I can do top 10.
Okay, okay.
I'd like to mention art department. For the first time in I think more than 10 years, we met in Evo, France, and we were able to do amazing things. And he didn't come short. He was the man I met while gaming in Mortal Kombat. Hope to see him again. Gabriel Latsu. It was a pleasure meeting you in person. Uh, we met in Kenya, Oscar. So big up. It was a dream come true also. Frost, taken player for me in Kenya. We went with him to France, and I've watched him grow and become a proper player. And I'm just rooting for him. I hope he opens more doors for more gamers who are in the Tekken scene and just gamers in Africa in general. Bambina, she's in esports. She does everything in esports. Proud of what the work she's doing. Malone, FIFA, bro. I have the list is Malone
No,
from FIFA, and generally, I would just like to big up everyone in Africa who's trying to do something in gaming, whether be it esports, game development, uh, streamers. Every one of you who's contributing to make this change in this space. You're the ones. You're the true ones. Big up to all of you. Big up to all African gamers. If you're in the stream, big up to this one man I'm almost forgetting. Totem Sisu, my guy from Cameroon.
yeah,
That's the one man I'm looking forward to meet. But
let's
yes, big up to each and every one of you and keep up the good work. Yeah. Mm.
Super,
Yeah.
super, super. Okay, so that wraps up the esport conversation. We're going to move into games. You stay with me a little bit for games, right? Because I love to
Yeah.
hear your thoughts before I go into it. But before I put through that, I would love to just spotlight a game that came out of Nigeria. I don't think a
Mm.
lot of people know about it. You know, when people speak of game studios in Nigeria, they're always talking about, I don't know. I don't think we have a big five, but maybe
Mm.
there's like a big three.
Mhm.
that most people are always speaking about.
Yeah.
Um, but this is a game studio, mobile game studio, solo game dev that came out this year. The guy is
Mm.
making lots of waves, and
Mhm.
we just like to put a spotlight on him. So let me share his trailer, and then we'll see what that looks like. So this is from the studio is VT Games, and this is Project Jazz. I hope I got that right. Yes, Project Jazz game. Let's watch that trailer.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. This is Sparta. Ooh, Spider-Man. Project Jazz. Okay. Yo,
That
bro,
was
we have our African Spider-Man right there, and I'm not talking about Miles Morales. Yeah.
that, that game released this year, and it has over 100,000 downloads already. You can check
Mm.
that out. Because you know most people are always like, "Oh, what African game? What African games?" Guys, people are doing it out there.
Yeah.
Solo teams, indie teams of
Mm.
two, three people, one person. They are building really amazing stuff. And one other cool thing is marketing. So I discovered this game in the community. Of course, I was
Mm.
posting a lot of devlogs and the likes. And I know there
Yeah.
are some people who think devlogs are dead, right? Like, who is watching your devlog? But if you look at his YouTube channel, VT Games, it has lots of people view it. It has like
Mm.
5,000 views on average.
Yeah.
And when the game launched, he has already like 100,000 downloads. So this
Oof.
is really, really cool.
Amazing, amazing. And the game itself looks well done. It reminds me actually, I don't know if you've watched this animation called Killer Beans.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
texture. Yeah.
it reminds me of Killer Beans, especially the fighting animations. They are really properly done. I'm like, yeah, that's something I definitely play, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to spotlight that. We'll be talking about games right now, the video games industry. And when I say video games, I mean game development side of things, people
Mm.
that build games. And I'll just do a quick wrap up of that. But before I do that, I know Brian might need to leave soon. So I'd love to ask you, you've played games from the continent, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have been like, oh, they want to know African esport. Guys, bring money. We have people that will build it. To play
Mm.
African
Yeah.
esport games, bring
Mm.
money, right?
Yes.
Bring money.
Mm.
When you bring the money, we'll build the game for you. We have the
Very
talent.
fast. Very fast. The dream, the vision is there. The money is what's lacking. Yeah.
For you. It's the money that is lacking. We do have
Mm.
the talent across the continent. And if anything, this year has shown that even with limited resources, people are really pushing.
Yeah.
People are, I like that the creators on the continent are connecting themselves with the global market, not just, looking like, oh, this is good for Africa. So yeah.
Mm.
So what are some of the exciting games for that you saw this year from the continent? Tell me. Yeah.
I think top three. Top three.
Okay.
The first one is Rasta Santa because I'm in the game.
Ah, it looks like you. No, no. This
Rasta Santa from Dulex Studios in Nigeria.
okay.
That was that was it for me. The second game is Blastic. It's by a team called Game Tribe from here in Kenya, from Pesa.
Yeah.
The third one. There are two games fighting for this spot. Um, there are two games
Tell me.
fighting for this spot. I'm about to make enemies. Yeah. Uh,
Mention the two. Don't make enemies. It's a new year we're entering.
or I just let them figure out which one it is. Anyway,
Exactly.
the name is kind of skipping. I have so many games in my head, man. Okay, let me just stick to the top two, Blastic and Rasta Santa. For me, these are the African continent games that I'm like, we are heading somewhere. Not that the others are trash. No, the ones that I've experienced and I've played and I've felt, these are games that make make some sort of sense. Those are the games. But we have a lot of games, man. Every other day, I mean, even right now as we speak, there's a game that was sent to me called Rise of Fearless. It's been made in from Ethiopia. It's a battle royale. You guys can check it
Yeah.
out. Rise of Fearless. It's a new battle royale based on African backgrounds, different African countries. You're fighting using spears and arrows. It's something for us, especially those guys who keep talking about esports games. That could be like your next PUBG in some
Mhm.
sense. So, I mean, again, when we talk about games, people want finished, polished to play games, but hey, we have to start somewhere. And for me, I feel like those people who are trying a bit, those are the ones I want to, grow with. So at the end of the day, we get to grow, and when they now get to that triple A level, I would say I've been
Yeah.
part of that journey and help them grow. But for me, right now, the top two, Rasta Santa and Blastic. Yes,
Nice, nice. So
and
what I'm
not because they're my boys, because the games are good.
what I'm sure.
Disclaimer, disclaimer. Yeah.
So I've dropped the link for Blastic and the comments. You can have a look at that. And then I'm going to play the trailer for Rasta Santa. Rasta Santa is Christmas themed, so I'll play the trailer. And it won quite a number of awards. Won two awards this year. Won the award Rising Star at Fakugesi, and it won the Audience Choice Awards at Africa Games Week this year. So
Guys, you see, I have taste. I have taste. My game won awards.
let's pull up Rasta Santa. This one looks like.
Violates the legal ones and escape retribution.
There's no way you cannot say that is not me.
Wagwan, where the little ones they?
They have been kidnapped by the traffickers.
The blood run dry.
Download for free.
Yeah, that's Rasta Santa. One thing most people don't know as well is there's a comics for this game. So it's not just a game. There's a comics because there's a story behind everything. So you can read the comics, you can play the game, and that's really really super cool. Yeah. So thanks for that. I can't also have favorites. It's my industry. I dare not start saying this is my favorite or something.
You have to
They are
play
going
safe. So
to
they
just
invite
find
you somewhere.
they just find me in the morning when I'm going and deal with me.
Yeah. Guys,
Yeah,
like I said,
but
not favorite, top game, top. All of them
exactly.
are my favorites. Yeah. I play all of them.
Yeah. But there's some key things I'd like to share with everyone regarding the industry. This has been a very exciting year. We've had studios from all across doing amazing thing. One standout studio on the continent definitely is Free Lives. I don't know if you all know them, but this studio has back to back been doing lots of amazing stuff. Let me see if I can pull it out. Um, this is by far one of the um, yeah, if you can say one of the biggest studios on the continent, one of the major, let me not say biggest. one of the major studios on the continent that creates really, really amazing content. I'm just going to share the screen so you can see what their website. I'm constantly blown by the quality of projects. Like, look at their games, guys. Anger Foods, Broforce, um, Stick It to the Stick Man. This also won an award this year at the Africa Games Week award ceremony. Terra Neil was with Netflix. That's, I think, a Netflix game partnership. That has won a couple of awards as well. Anger Foods, Brofus, these are all amazing games. This studio has done a lot of amazing stuff. And they are also the studio behind the festival Playtopia, which happens
Mm.
every time in Cape Town. Yeah, the same week as Africa Games Week. It's really, really an amazing festival. When you go there, you learn about games. It's not like focused on the business side. So Africa Games Week is like focused on the business side of games. Playtopia is focused on the play, the games themselves, and the people behind the game. So you get to meet people globally, not just Africa, that build amazing games. You learn their process. You play test games, lots of games, and not just mobile games or PC games. There are also, interactive games available for people to engage in. That's really one amazing studio that I really like to shout out. North Africa is doing its own thing, which is really super amazing. We had the Sony MENA project where we had the studio be a part of that. We also had the studio, I think, from Egypt get into the Excel accelerator for those in the community. Yes, an African got the $300,000 from the Saudi Arabia Games Accelerator. Yeah, so that's Roger Video Game Studio. That's a huge one. No, these are just key things that happened in the industry. Yeah, which is really, really cool. Back to Free Lives, the Stick It to the Stickman game had like 90,000 sales. That's a PC game. That's, in fact, let me pull this up. I think I have an image. Top PC games for this year. Look at that. Like, these are top picks, games that really went out to do really amazing stuff. So you have Stick It to the Stickman there. You have Meta Voida. That's a really amazing game. That also did very well at the, I think, the Steam Next Fest, if I'm not wrong.
Steam Next
Uh,
Fest.
yes, that was really amazing. That game did a lot. Go Nuts is made by a Nigerian developer. They won the Lagos Games Week pitch. And from what I know, insider information, all the studios, the two studios that won, that's that's the in between VCD Studios and Go Not Gazon Type. They also got into the Idea at Xbox program, which means they are up for the grants. Like, I think that's 75 to $100,000. And Go Not is made. You should check out Go Not as well from Nigeria. Really awesome. Anokie, I don't know if I pronounced that right, is the new game from Ghanaian-based multimedia studio Mills Media. That's a really exciting one as well. It's on Steam. These are all PC games. Then Shroom and Groom. This one is really exciting by Laserbeam. I think this game came out from like a game jam organized by Free Lives. So Free Lives has this supporting the community. So they organize not really a game jam. They ask people to build prototypes and pitch to them. And then the best prototypes, they support them financially to continue development. And Schumann Bloom is from that entire initiative, and it's really awesome. It has a publisher already, and it's making waves. And this one is my personal favorite, "To Walk Alone" by Four Old Men. This is by, I think, two ladies. They run the studio. This game has won lots of um, awards as well. They even won the ARC pitch for this year at the Game Athon. The art style is unique and all. No worries, by tomorrow we'll share a list of games from across the continent. We'll put that up. This is about 2 hours, so we can't do all of that now. We'll put that up and you get to see what is coming out of Africa, especially new projects from this year. We'll put it up and you get to see, like, yeah, guys, people are not playing. Really, really awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff. Moving on quickly, one other key standard was Acclaim publishing Toss Down. Toss Down is made by the Nigerian studio. You know Fair, right? You know
Yeah.
Touchdown?
Yeah.
Touchdown, yeah.
Mm.
So that game is now published by Acclaim. That's a very huge one from the continent. If you look at events, we had more events like I mentioned. In Nigeria now, there's the Gameathon that happens in Nigeria. In the South, you have the Game Expo by Gameverse Africa.
Mm.
Then you move on, you have Lagos Games Week, and now MalioCon, which is really exciting. So a game studio having its own event to connect with its fan
Connected
base.
fan base.
That's
Yeah.
super. Yeah, really super. So that's more events in Nigeria as a country, and that puts more eyes. Shout out
Mm.
to Games Connect Africa with what they are doing in Kenya. You were at the meetup, right?
Yes.
Well, tell us about that. What
Wait,
was
wait,
that?
wait. Game Connect that happened at the Goethe Institute.
Yes, yes.
I was in Evo when it was happening.
Oh, true. Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That
I was
was
not there when it happened.
yeah.
I was supposed to be
That
a
was
moderator.
awesome. They had like 70 attendees
Yes.
coming.
Yes.
And that's showing that there's a hungry community there in Kenya. So it
Mm.
relies on you guys to keep that going,
Yeah.
especially as the UN is moving most of its offices to Kenya right now. And that puts you all in a very good position to build the conversation around gaming.
Speaking of that, UN's branch. A week ago, I was in the UN Youth Vision for 2030, and I was there. Yeah, I was there to tell them. Yeah, we also have gaming, and we're
Yeah.
using gaming to battle mental health issues and stuff like that, and just using gaming for there are no fields these days. We've built this city too much. We took up the space. So a lot of these kids are growing up playing video games. So I was like, how do we make it, the consumption of video games proper, where addiction doesn't become a problem,
Yeah.
accessibility to it, and stuff like that. So I started that conversation with them. Secondly, WFP, the World Food Program, has gaming events around it. So we started a conversation. I was not supposed to say this, but we started a conversation just a week ago. And
Nice.
starting from January, we're going to have summits and just delve. How can gamers help development and what for food using
Yeah.
gaming, and how can gaming help them become better farmers and stuff like that. So it's something we're also working with the UN. So I think this coming year is going to be super hard compared to what we just left, because it's time to bring to life what we've been practicing this whole year. So
Yeah.
next year is just implementing, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But I can say clearly that it's going to be crazy as of next year, and we're
Yeah.
going to hit the year boots on the ground. How do they say it like that? But yeah,
Hit the
since
ground running. That's how my
like
president said it.
exactly hit the ground running. Since
Now
they
all
also
the
you
citizens are running from that.
yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, with those guys coming over here, we want to make the most out of it. Also, next year is the African French Summit. Macron is coming to Kenya, so we're also doing something on gaming. So I will have to see on the side on that as well, and see if
Super.
they can start from up there, coming all this way down here,
Mhm.
and see what we can do. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that
Super.
is all. That's all from my end.
Yeah, super. Just
Mhm.
wrapping up. Let's keep it. Let's tone down next year. Yeah? Next year
Yeah.
looks very, very hot.
Mhm.
But this year we had an African win the
Mhm.
Unity for Humanity grant. That was really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
That was the team. It wasn't basically like a game. It was an immersive, interactive experience. But that was cool to see
Mhm.
that happen.
Yeah.
We also have Dimension 11 and Pressure Cooker Studios collaborating on the audio of the. I don't know what's wrong with those guys. Dimension 11 and Kunta Content.
Kunta
It doesn't
content.
need to play their game when I'm old.
Man, they don't want to release the game, and the game is so good. I'm like, bro, what else are you adding?
Pressure
Kunt-
Content released a trailer this year. And
Mm.
I was like, we
I
don't
want to
want the
play that
trailer,
game.
we want the game.
They've become Grand Theft Auto, pushing us like
Like, this is the game. You're showing us trailer. We know you can do the trailer. We like it, but show us the
we
game.
love it. We don't even like. We love it. But guys, it's GTA did that to us. Why are you also guys doing that to us, man? T for
Yeah,
tough.
but it was cool to see
Mm.
these two studios collaborating, showing that there's more in intra. I think that's it. Is it
Yeah.
intra continental collaboration?
Intracontinental. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing a studio in South Africa collaborate with a studio in Nigeria, that was super, super, super to see. And in Ghana, I mean, Mills Media, really interactive. These are guys pushing things. Then we also have Letty. Letty started a new program to train people in VR, AR. We'll share all of this. You get to
Mm.
see more. This was some really cool stuff. Letty Afia VR Center in collaboration with the French embassy there, with the Alliance Francaise there, and then the Imesa project, and even November Nuberik, they did a lot of stuff. And of course, Join Play, which is another interesting studio on the continent. So it's Nukema Interactive in Cameroon, and then they now have a sister company or another company in Finland, in the Nordics, called
Yeah.
Join Play. They
Mm.
released the teaser for Armor Chronicles. That's another game. I'm like, guys, is it when I'm 200 years old? You people want to release, but at least you
Release
got it.
the game.
And
Release
imagine
the
a
game.
teaser after like 2 years. It's
Yeah.
a teaser they gave us. It's unfair.
Stand on business.
Yeah, yeah. But
Maybe
these
they're waiting. They're waiting for the numbers of gamers who have consoles to increase and devices, so that when they release, they
yeah,
have a lot of people who can, actually get to experience the game. So it might look tactical. I don't know what's their gameplay, but let's wait and see.
it's weird and
Let's wait and
weird
see.
and
Mm.
yeah. But
Oh,
I think
mm,
the key last thing I just like to bring to the fore right now is this was announced at Africa Games Week, before it was announced at Maliocon, and that is Supercell. Supercell announcing a grant for the African video games industry.
okay.
Yeah. So this, I'm going to drop this link for everyone in the group. You can check. This is really, really awesome. Grants from I think 20K up to $200,000 if you are building a project. And apparently they've been working with Speed School in Ethiopia and Uganda all this while. I didn't know about that. But
Mm,
what they are looking at now is to support game studios. So if you have a game, you really need to push. As you can see, the funding would range from $20,000 to $200,000. This was announced, like I mentioned, just this December. And
mm,
this is something I think every game developer can look at, especially if I don't think it's limited to PC or mobile, but being Supercell, especially if it's mobile games, you can actually apply for this.
yeah.
And yeah, that would be really, really cool. So you can express your interest here. I'll drop the link in the comment section right now. And yeah, let's push that for everyone.
Mm,
Yeah, this has been quite the mix, quite the session with everyone. Really, really super to be here with you all. 2026 is going to be an amazing year, as you can see from Africa Communicate. We have lots planned. So even though we're not doing the game-a-thon, relax. There's going to be lots of activities for you to get engaged in. There's going to be lots of content. We're restructuring for the greater good,
yeah.
for better efficiency at what we do and much more. We had some things we noticed this year that we cannot keep on doing the way we do it. We need to do things better. We need to grow. And we're
Mm.
excited to see the community growing as well. So yeah, we're going to wrap it on this note. Brian, to everyone watching, every stakeholder, be it esports, game dev, fan of the industry, what would you like to tell them?
I was not ready. What did I- Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak up on this panel, for coming up with this bad idea of having we should do this every end of the year.
Yeah,
I would just like to tell them that whatever you're doing in the space or in life, or let me just stick to the space, whatever you're doing to the space, in as little as it looks, or in as unrewarding as it looks, remember we're in the phase of building, and the fruit of what we're doing, maybe we might not get to enjoy it, maybe our children will, but if they don't, we hope we do ourselves enjoy. Don't stop doing it. Do it for the sake, do it for the community, as I do, because I know it's going to be a game changer in the near future. we have a lot of youth in Africa, and gaming is in the core of it. Technology is what runs gaming, and technology is what runs the world. So if our youth can have their hands on technology and access to it, and through guys like us who use gaming as our access to technology, you can learn everything: AI, design, photography, streaming, everything that is tech is within gaming. So
Yeah.
whatever you're doing out there, keep doing it as I keep doing it. And we don't hope. Hope is for people who don't have nothing else to do. We build, we put our foot on the ground, we look for ways to make this work. Yes, we have a lot of excuses and we'll say it's hard, nobody's supporting us. We have each other, and that's the most important thing. Michael is in Nigeria, I'm in Kenya, and we're supporting each other with the little we do, and it's going to bring the change we want to see. So, that being said, let's hold each other's hand, be a proper African gaming community, and hopefully, we will build that gaming ecosystem we want to see here in Africa. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. I do hope you enjoy, and send me some lunch money. Just give me your lunch money.
Super. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and Michael, send me the shoes and the hat. I can't
Hey, my
concentrate every
shit.
time. Every
Look
time
at
it's doing this.
I'm wearing it. Like I said, I did a bip boop. And then look at
bruh. You see, this is I want to be like this guy when I grow up, guys.
boop boop.
Yeah, this would be proper for me for streaming, because I started streaming because I want to become ISHO Speed Light. And guys, if ISHO Speed passes through your country, make sure you get to wave at him. Yeah, get in one of his videos and go viral. Show him there is also gamers in Africa. They don't just spotlight us. Do that when ISHO Speed lands where you are. Yeah,
Super, super.
yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Brad. Yeah. And yeah, for me, what can I say? 26 is an amazing year. For us at Africa Communicate, I think we are just beginning, to be quite candid. A new face beckons for us. And it's been an amazing 6 year journey since when we started 2019, 2020. And the next 5 years, we are really, really changing the way we do things. We see the huge potential and opportunity of the sector, and we're not backing down anytime soon. So there's going to be lots of amazing engagements, lots of initiative, lots of activations. More importantly, we're going to see how to build a better ecosystem, a better industry that is sustainable. There are lots of programs planned out. There are lots of activities mapped out for even the year 2026. But this is a recap. This is not about talking about the new year. We'll share all of that with you. So we encourage everyone building to keep on building. Don't back down. It's exciting that you are part of the people building what in the next 10 years, in the next 15, 20 years serves as the foundation. The industry is not just starting. A lot has happened over the last 10, 15, 20 years, but it's also not a new industry. It's not a new sector. Uh, and you are a part of that story. So keep on building, keep on trying, keep on innovating, pivot as many times as you need to. But lots of amazing stuff are coming, and we are going to be here. You're going to see us. We hope to work with you. We hope to work alongside you as well in everything we do. And yeah, so this is the last stream for the year. Tomorrow, we're going to push out a video showing most of the games that came out this year. Really exciting games to show what the continent is all about. Shout out to everyone who joined. Shout out to everyone who is working and building. And I wish you all a happy new year in advance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oscar out. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Good night and happy new year in advance. Bye.